Thank you, Eugenia. It is a pleasure to be with you. I have to thank you for the invitation for moderating this roundtable. But as you may imagine, this is not person work but a teamwork. So I have to thank all the members of our roundtable, and I hope this will be an interesting and successful meeting for all. So I'm going to make.
Let's go into conclusions and recommendations about our e-roundtable related with teacher skills to teach in the 21st century. We have presented 4 topics with, let's say, with absolutely necessary tools and complemented by other recommended tools. Let's see one by one. But these topics, these conclusions will be presented as well, and it will be available in the community of the tools for the School of the Future. About making presentations. Well, let's see the methodology of doing it. Almost a perfect presentation has 2 important aspects. And these important aspects are preparing the presentation and presenting it. And we are preparing the presentation, it should be important to identify contents, audience. And when we are presenting, the importance of the slideshow and didactic communication tools. More rules to make a good practices for a good presentation. Text should be summarized and should be well structured. Second rule is good practice for a presentation. Text, images, and animations should be synchronized with the narration. It's very important to do it. The third rule, never use large blocks of text and static images. With these 3 ingredients, you can improve a lot in your presentation. And the advantages of a presentation compared with the traditional narration is that you can emphasize your key ideas and facilitate knowledge acquisition. Never use a blackboard like this. But more, okay? About making a presentation, 3 basic aspects. When you are making a presentation, you should take care of your looking before the presentation. Be empathic. Motivate your audience. Never limit yourself to read only a document. And look to your audience is extremely important to be involved with your audience. More about tools and applications. Tools will be presented according to if you are using a PC or if you are using a Mac. And these are the 2 totally different ingredients. Okay? There are as well open and paid tools. For PCs, use PowerPoint, PPTplex, Prezi, Impress, Library Office, or you can use as well for Mac. The same ingredients are the same tools, PowerPoint and PPTplex, Prezi, and a Keynote, which is an exclusive for a Mac. But about didactic videos are extremely important today. They are multimedia ingredients. Didactic video is not just a caption of your camera, it's much more than that. You have to prepare it. And there are very different types of didactic videos. Dissertation type, step-by-step instructions, meeting reports, students' motivation with some ingredients, and students' work presented. These have, let's say, slightly different tools to make it. But when we reflect about making a didactic video, we should think that a building never starts in the 2nd floor. You should have it prepared since the ground. And the ground of the didactic video is a good presentation. But how to make your video? A good presentation is important. Backgrounds and layouts, the narration, and non-verbal communication with some music background or not. Sometimes music background helps, but it should be very well fitted to what you are presenting. Contents, presentation videos, they should be short. Step-by-step instructions should be even much shorter, because we cannot make it a longer one. The first one you should be 10 minutes maximum, 15, and step-by-step instruction between 3 and 5 minutes, sometimes even shorter. Okay, more about it. About tools and applications to make it. Tools will be selected according to the same criteria I've mentioned before, PC or Mac. And in a general way, tools to make didactic videos are Camtasia Studio, Captivate, YouTube Video Maker, Video Show, and Google Maker, Adobe Connect, or from a PowerPoint you can make very good didactic videos as well. But you have as well complemented tools to make videos for children, which has a lot of interesting aspects and interactivity and things like this. More about tutoring. Tutoring is a very, very important ingredient for the success of the teaching process. Tutoring can be asynchronous and synchronous. And synchronous tutoring can be in presence or virtual classroom. These are the basics. Tutoring today is clarifying doubts and debate with students, teach how to search and manage huge quantities of information, teach how to learn, self-learning, collaborative group work, formative assessment. But tutoring today is very important to motivate, to involve, to guide our students. Doesn't matter if it will be in presence or at distance. Guide how to learn, guide informing, reflect constructivist activities, promote remote collaborative work, problem-based activities, guide into formative assessment, video repository of synchronous tutoring. This is very important for your students. The online tutor, according to McKinsey, however, any list of roles can be produced should only be regarded as a general framework. Never is finished forever. The guiding activities and tools are all of these platforms can be used for tutoring and as well virtual classrooms. About other tools and social network, virtual communication tools are extremely important. And we are using that since about 2003 with different techniques, with different formats, but we are using online tutoring in this format. According to McKinsey, what is asked to a tutor online, you have to be far superior to a teacher working in a classroom environment, especially since the activity is more intense in education terms, and the ratio, requirement, and field of technology. This is very important. This is a very interesting reflection that is totally updated even today. About formative assessment. Formative assessment is very important. And one question is there any really difference between summative and formative assessment? Let's listen to the opinion of experts. Formative assessment is for learning, and summative assessment is for grading, according to Godwall. But a more formative assessment is designed to assist the learning process by providing feedback to the learner, which can be used to highlight areas for future study and improving performance. Formative assessment is intended to tell students how to improve their performance, diagnoses a student's strength and weakness, and guide students to improve their knowledge. Formative assessment is often used to prepare for students for summative assessment. McDonald said this, but more, assessment for grading, summative or certificate assessment is for external purposes, does not normally provide extensive feedback to the student. It is intended to pass or fail, grade or rank a student. This is effectively the summative assessment. Conclusions. Recommended tools for formative assessment. Recommended tools for formative assessment and for self-assessment, peer assessment, group-based assessment, and computer-assisted assessment. There are a lot of tools today available. It's important that you implement it in your courses, in your classes, to improve the quality of your learning. Doesn't matter what is your education environment, you should use formative assessment. If you are in presence, if you are using emails, or if you are using LSS. Formative assessment is extremely important. And about the platform and LMSs, I should say that what we can from LMS is present a course in basic aspects and instructions, present objectives, contents, tasks about each module, weekly or by topic, presenting synchronous and asynchronous tutoring activities, assessment formative and summative activities, have a learning information control system based for teachers and students. All of this information is related with presenting, as we have talked before, with tutoring and formative assessment. All of this LMS can help you, but more, it can give you an information and control system that you as teacher can control the activities of your students, and the student can control themselves about the work done and what is to be done. More, platforms can be used to support traditional courses or massive courses. This is, let's say, what is important today. It is absolutely necessary to use of a platform if you are teaching in presence or distance. About the importance of virtual classrooms, I should say that according to Merit, students may feel isolated from other learners and tutors. Students may face communication problems with other students or tutors. It have an inadequate feedback. A virtual classroom can help a lot to solve these problems. Content should be presented on demand, and tutoring should be made synchronous at least once a week, as we have mentioned before about the synchronous tutoring. These are examples of synchronous tutoring online made with different environments. This was a course for Latin America, and we have developed it from Europe. Support remote collaborative work in research and other activities. Or we can have group work, interactivity with socialization and with support. These are very important. But more than that, let's listen to the opinion of experts. Professor Norbert Batchelor from London University. I do believe, and I will give my total agreement to virtual learning environments if they are not limited to LMSs. They should be complemented by virtual classrooms to be used for online tutoring and collaborative learning. But another opinion, Professor George Simmons. As a matter of fact, PC-based classrooms are much superior. It is extremely important that we can be anytime, anywhere, all over the world and support our students. It is practical and efficient. More. About Professor Johnny Vidén from Lund University in Sweden, I'm in favor of using PC virtual classrooms because it's flexible and can be used wherever you want to make it efficient. We have compared several virtual classrooms in order to identify their efficient. We have a methodology called custom satisfaction evaluation model, and we finally compare Adobe and Illuminate with this methodology. And the conclusions were this: we used 23 topics for evaluation, and Illuminate represents only 71% of the satisfaction of a custom with Adobe Connect environment. How about our recommended skills? Communication, remote collaborative, creativity, critical thinking, and problem solving, productivity, social network, reflection and feedback, search and pedagogic claims. All of these recommended tools are important. So now you know all the methodologies to make fantastic presentations, guiding, tutoring, and formative assessment. But don't forget, use as well digital storytelling methodology to improve your presentations. One course about this will take place in next spring. It will be 1 week workshop in Azores Islands. Thank you very much for your attention. This will be the environment of our workshop in Azores Islands. But all the information will be available about this in our community for tools for the School of the Future. Thank you very much for your attention.